Tom Brady got 7 Super Bowls. He's clearly better. Tom Brady's more consistent.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's healthier. Tom Brady played longer. Tom Brady had better teams around him. But Peyton Manning was a monster.
Yeah.
Playing Peyton Manning has the whole building shook up. You want to talk about sphincters puckered?
Tom and Peyton, they were two totally different animals.
For nearly 2 decades, the NFL was defined by one question that never had an easy answer. 2 quarterbacks, 2 styles, 2 standards of greatness. One built his legacy on precision, control, and total command at the line of scrimmage. The other mastered pressure, timing, and winning when the margin for error disappeared. They didn't just dominate the league, they forced everyone else to pick a side. Coaches adjusted, defenses evolved, and legends who lined up against them saw the difference up close. This isn't a debate driven by stats or headlines. It's a conversation led by the people who had to prepare for them, compete with them, and live with the consequences.
Tom was slower. The game was chess. What you think he's not gonna take. You have to study Tom more from situational football, right? 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 7, 4th down and 1, 4th down and 2, because then you understand how he's gonna play the game. Tom was not the one that always go at you. He don't go at your throat a lot, right? He just slowly cuts you, right? And Peyton is the opposite. Peyton, first play of the game, I'm going at you. I'm going deep first play of the game. First play of the second half, I'm going at you, right? You show me a cover 1, I get 1-on-1 outside. I see the safety bite in the middle, I'm going outside. You show me a cover 2, I'm a check, run. You show me a cover 3, I'm gonna come back with a comeback. I'm gonna come back with a hook. I'm gonna come back with a curl out route. That's how fast it was. You had to know each defense has its weakness, and you can't show the weakness. So each one of them had different things that you had to study. And so playing against the two, we all knew how much of a chess match it was gonna be playing against each other.
At some point, the conversation shifts, the room divides. Some point to rings, moments, and championships earned when the pressure was unbearable. Others point to control, preparation, and a mind that solved defenses before the ball was snapped. And that's when the debate stops being about numbers and becomes about what you value most in greatness.
He said it's much more scary to take on Peyton Manning. Yeah, former NFL linebacker Bart Scott admitted that it was more nerve-wracking to face Peyton Manning as a quarterback than Tom Brady. This particular tweet comes from Sports Illustrated, but everybody was following this. Why is that, D-Butt? And do you think that is a lot of people's thoughts in the defense and in the secondary?
No, I think if you ask defenders, it'll probably split down the middle or close, maybe 60-40 one way. You split hairs whenever you get into talking about these all-time great quarterbacks, Peyton, Brady. You know, I grew up watching that rivalry, obviously, but they brought different things to the game. Peyton was more of that, sheriff at the line of scrimmage. You knew where his guys were going to be. You knew where Reggie and Marv were going to be. You knew where Garcon and Reggie were going to be. But he would get to the line and change routes up, change plays up, adjust a lot on the fly. And Brady did it kind of differently. He would kind of, fuck you over with personnel. He may have 13 in a huddle or 22 in a huddle and then come out in an empty set. And he would change the tempo a lot. He'll get to the line of scrimmage quick sometimes. Sometimes he'll get there and adjust. So it was different things with the different players. But if you ask 1,000 defenders, it'll probably be split right down the middle. Me and AB talked about it this morning on the pod. Obviously, Antoine, he played 14 years in the league. A bunch of those years with Peyton. Beat Brady to go to a Super Bowl, and he basically said the same thing. He did pick Brady, though, if he had to pick one, just because he did that to go to the Super Bowl. And, I would go against Peyton. I had more success against Peyton on the teams than individually. So I think if you ask defenders, it'll probably be split down the middle.
For nearly 2 decades, the league wrestled with one question. Not who was talented, but who delivered when everything was on the line. This debate isn't about numbers. It's about trust. It's about moments. And it's about why so many legends, when forced to choose, lean one way.
Peyton Manning's scarier than Tom Brady.
Say it again.
By far and away. And here's what I love. Because Stell has sat in defensive meeting rooms I have sat in defensive meeting rooms. So this isn't even like really a subjective conversation. No.
Yeah.
Based upon sitting in defensive meeting rooms with several defensive coordinators on several different teams, Peyton Manning was significantly scarier than Tom Brady because Peyton Manning would make you wrong. Tom Brady would just wait for you to be wrong. And there's a difference.
Oh, I like that.
There's a pivotal difference, y'all.
I like that.
Peyton Manning, you could come out in a simple cover 3 defense. Cornerback has a third, safety has a third, we in cover 3. Peyton Manning, he'll come to the line, Omaha, he gonna check, cover 3 beater. He's gonna run a comeback, simple cover 3 beater. He gonna make you wrong. Tom Brady will just come out there, safety, he's out of alignment because I can tell that the outside linebacker is blitzing, but if the outside linebacker is blitzing, the safety should be covering down on my tight end. The safety is not walked to cover down on my tight end, so I'm going to exploit you because you are already wrong. Yeah. But there's something different there between somebody making you wrong and you being wrong. See, if somebody makes you wrong, you can never be right. But Tom Brady has to wait on you to become wrong. And to me, that's why I say it's more fair than it's foul. Because when you played against Peyton Manning, it was as though you were never right. When you played against Tom Brady, he was just going to wait for you to be wrong, because eventually you will be, and he'll exploit.
Ask enough legends, and the answers start to separate. Some value the calm under pressure, the trust in the biggest moments. Others value mastery, the ability to control defenses and dictate the game from the line of scrimmage. It's not about right or wrong. It's about what greatness means to you.
Yeah, so I would love to know how you're being measured on it. I would say this, from a strictly individual dominance, you've seen how many MVPs Peyton Manning has won. That's obviously going to put him up. If you look at their statistics side by side, Manning has always been the better statistical quarterback, no matter what you're putting, what he did in the game, all of those things. Everybody's argument, though, in this is going to come back to championships and how many of those championships do you assign to Tom Brady and what he did versus the team. I think anytime you deal with quarterbacks, especially the way we're defining the NFL, it's always defined by rings. That's how people talk. But if you want to go strictly by each individual performance, Peyton Manning was the most dominant. I mean, you look at what he did week in, week out. Statistically, there's a reason he's got all those MVPs. He flat out played as well, if not, I mean, he played the best of anybody in our generation at the time I was playing.
And this conversation, it sounds hyperbolic when you read it on the headlines, but if you dive deep into it, you realize not hyperbolic at all. This is just the pulse of the nation, and we are the nation. In terms of being former defenders, in terms of being there with the defensive coordinators, and which one has sleepless nights when they had to face Peyton Manning, don't say his name 3 times, because it's going to be like Candyman, or Tom Brady. No shots at Tom Brady, y'all.
Tom Brady's a great quarterback.
Lay these facts down as they were laid. One was pick number 1 and one was pick 199. They didn't get it that wrong. From hello, they didn't get it that wrong.
You're right. They might have been wrong.
Yeah.
But they weren't that wrong.
They weren't that wrong. And Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning hit the ground and he didn't hit it running. But when he finally found his traction, he was off to the races. In his 17-year career versus Tom Brady, just the years they overlap. Peyton Manning beats him. Completion percentage, yards, touchdown. Like, it's not even a conversation.
But what is it that when you got with him and coached him that you're like, this is why he's different than everyone else that I coached?
Yeah, not totally different than Peyton. They're the same animal.
Yeah.
I mean, their need for information. I mean, I want to know. I want every rock unturned before this game starts. What are we going to do in this scenario? What are we going to do in this scenario? Tell me about the DBs, like Spytech. They would meet all the DBs, have a book on They had to have the information, and they would just decipher. Let me just go out and tear you up.
Right.
And but they hate losing. They hate losing. They hate playing bad. So it's like Tom's a little more demonstrative.
Yeah.
On the sideline, and but it's great to watch him, great to work with him, and just a hell of a dude.
As the conversation deepens, the room changes. Voices slow, opinions sharpen. Some remember the moments that ended seasons. Others remember the nights spent trying to stop a quarterback who already knew their answers. That's when the debate stops being simple and starts being personal.
Let me give you a couple examples that maybe drive this point home. We're playing Peyton Manning, right? Monday Night Football. Rifle, whole first half, rifle.
Like, wait a minute, Peyton Manning out here slipping. Rifle means run right, run right, run right. Oh, look out, Edgerrin, tackle. I'm saying, come out, second half. This is before Omaha. I don't know when Omaha started. Rifle, run right. Ooh, let me hold that. Edgerrin going like this. You know how Edgerrin used to look, the braids flying. And then we like, where the skinny receiver at, Marvin Harrison? He in there doing this. Touchdown. Rifle changed like that. To your point, Peyton Manning will make you wrong. He'll give you bait. Peyton Manning, his head was a calculator on that field, literally and figuratively. This dude will go out there and compute things. Versus Tom Brady, young Tom Brady, no fear in our coordinators, to the point where Eric Mangini used to come on this show and said they didn't even have a ton of faith in young Tom Brady, but it was working. He used to say to him and the coaches used to sit there and be like, I don't know if he's going to be accurate with this football, but he obviously blossomed and matured to Tom Brady. But don't let all this team success masquerade that there was a moment when you had to go against that quarterback or that quarterback, and it was obviously you'd rather face Brady than Peyton Manning.
But I've always said this, and I've played against both of these quarterbacks in their prime, the whole 9 yards. I've never, as an offensive lineman, now we heard that from a defensive star. I also heard Marcellus Wiley and Emmanuel Acho say the same thing.
Right.
What they are tapping into is during install week, when you're going over the team you're gonna play and what defense you're gonna run and how you're going to exploit their weaknesses on offense. Playing Peyton Manning has the whole building shook up. You want to talk about sphincters puckered? Everybody's walk around the complex is different. Because yes, man, yes. Because every little thing matters. Now I'll say that, and then I'll double down and say, from an offensive point of view standpoint, when we're playing against the Colts, the defensive coordinator comes into our install room and tells us what we need to do to help them stop Peyton Manning. The only time that's ever happened was when we're playing a Peyton Manning team. No other quarterback, and I've played against them all. You name your top 4 quarterbacks that played in my era, I've played against them all multiple times. No other time has a defensive coordinator or a head coach told us offensively what we need to do to stop Peyton Manning.
In the end, this debate doesn't have a wrong answer, only different definitions of greatness. One built a legacy on mastery and control, the other on moments that decided seasons and shaped history. Both raised the standard for the position, and both forced the league to evolve. But when legends speak, what matters most isn't who you choose. It's the respect earned from those who had to line up and compete against greatness.